Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to download and install Spanish Tutor 1 from Questor software. Anyway, we're going to start out by launching Internet Explorer because we're going to download the program, and then we're going to go to a website that is called www.clubcruceros.org, and we're going to hit return. By the way, you saw that I typed that in the address bar. And when that comes up, that's a site that's in La Paz that has a lot of interesting things about it. But before we get into any of that, we're going to go up here on the top and we're going to click the software link, which is right here, once with the left mouse button. And then we're going to scroll down here to the one here right here called Spanish Tutor Program. And we're going to click that. And that comes up and it shows you a little bit about Spanish Tutor, which you can read when you do it yourself. And then, let's see, we are going to download it. Right, there we go. Download Spanish Tutor, right there. And so we're going to click that link. And eventually your computer come up and it'll ask you if you want to open this or do you want to save it. Well, let's save it. And we're going to save it for this time here on the desktop. And we're going to just click Save. And it starts to download. Okay, the download is finished. So now we're going to open it up. And well, actually, let's not do that. Let's just open the folder that it's in. And it's on the desktop. But this is it right here. This is Spanish Tutor 1. And we're going to double click on the zip file. And it brings up whatever unzip program you have. And then we're going to tell it to extract. We're going to click this button right here, extract. And then this here tells it where to extract it to. And now in this case here, we want it to extract to the desktop. Let's put this in. Okay, like that there. Then finally we'll click the extract button. Now when it gets all done, it'll actually open up the area where that is, and there it is right there. It's made a folder called Spanish Tutor Download. We're going to double click that to bring it up, and we see in here that there's a setup. I guess there's two different ways of doing this. There's setup and there's also Spanish Tutor MSI. You can use either one. I usually use the MSI file, so I'm going to double click on the Spanish Tutor MSI file. And I'm going to tell it to run it. And we come up with a little screen that shows where it came from. And then we click Next. And finally, it has a user software thing that you need to agree to. So I click Agree and then click Next. And finally, it asks you where do you want to have it installed. And I usually just let it go into the default location, whatever it might be on your computer. Now we'll just say Next. And finally, it asks you if you're ready to start the installation. We say Next once more. And now it's actually going to install Spanish Tutor 1 on your computer. Now, because I'm using Windows 7, I get a what's called a user account control. And what it is saying, am I absolutely sure that I want to let this program make changes to my computer? In this case, I know this is a pretty safe program, so I'm going to say yes. Okay, installation's complete and we close. Okay, now we can close this window and the zip thing, and we can even close this, and for that matter we could even close Microsoft Internet Explorer. Now on the desktop you can see we have an icon for Spanish Tutor. This is the folder where the installation program was unzipped into. And this is the actual zip file that we downloaded from Club Cruceros. Now we can delete a couple of these files that we don't need anymore. Like we could go over here and click this, and then we can either press the delete button on our keyboard, or we can right click it and then scroll down here to the delete selection and delete it. It asks you, are you sure? And I say yes. And the same thing with the zip file. Click on it, right click, and then select delete. And again it says, are you sure? And we say yes. Okay, now the next thing you're going to want to do is run Spanish Tutor. So we're going to go over here, we're going to double click on it, and Spanish Tutor comes up. Now the very first thing you want to do with Spanish Tutor is you need to load in the verb file. So you want to go to the File menu, click that, then click Open, and then you want to navigate to where the verb files are. Now on your computer, might be a little bit different, but it should be in the C drive, and then you scroll down a little bit here and go to the Programs file directory. Now yours will probably just say Programs file, but because mine's a 64-bit machine and mine says Programs file x86, but yours should just say Programs files, and you double click that and then scroll down in there to a folder called DJM Questor Software and double click, and then under that will be a folder called Spanish Tutor. Double click that. Now we're getting to it, and you will find a folder called Verbs and double click that. And finally you have the Verbs file, and there it is, and you highlight it by clicking on it once, and then go down here to the Open button and click it once with the left mouse button. And now you have the verbs loaded in to Spanish Tutor. And now we can resize the window here so we can see it properly. Alright, now we can start using Spanish Tutor 1. In order to use Spanish Tutor 1, I would like you to check out my video on how to use Spanish Tutor.